Assalamualaikum everyone. This is Sana from Dramalogue, and we're back again after a long hiatus. I guess it wasn't that long. It was only 4.5 weeks we were gone during Ramadan. So joining me is Sunny, and we're here to review. Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. Thank you so much. We are back again, and I'm so excited. We are starting our new season, sort of, right, Sana? You can say.
Sort of. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We're. I'm so happy to be back. I'm meeting Sana after a long time. Actually,
I
we
know,
talked over
right?
the phone, but we've never met. And
Yeah.
then we are also excited to hear from our viewers. It's been
Yeah,
a
I
while
know.
that we
Did
have
they
heard
miss
from
us? I
them.
don't know if they did. I probably not, right?
No, I'm sure they missed you.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
So, what have you been up to?
Oh, I'm actually, I've, spent the whole Ramadan month looking for shows to see. So I explored different themes and genres, and I was very happy to find a murder mystery in the mix. So, what about you?
Talking about murder mysteries. I love murder mysteries. We know that, right?
Oh,
Especially
yes.
ones that are really contemporary. So
Yes.
I know there's a new drama that just came out. It's a short series. It's called Hashtag on Geo. So we're gonna be reviewing that one. It's only 4 episodes long. Written by Shah Yasir, directed by MJ Mehreen Jabbar. I
My
call her MJ.
favorite. Yeah, we all call her MJ.
Yeah, I
She's
call
our
her MJ.
favorite. She's one of our
So,
favorites.
okay, so and it stars like Usama Khan, Sabeena, Farooq, Maha, Hassan, and
Dun, da,
last but not the least,
da.
Aliansari. So basically, we just want to say that we are gonna have some spoilers in this one. So if you do not want spoilers or do not want to know the end, do not watch this, okay? And then just come back to us later. All right, so do you want to start off with the storyline of plot?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
So this. I love the format of this story. It's like only 4 episodes long, as Asana said, and that's how a murder mystery should be. And so it starts off with we know about two sort of friends who are so close. They're like sisters, and they are social media stars, or they are upcoming social media stars. They have recently become very successful after a very controversial video that they made, and they're the group consists of these two girls as well as another guy. His name is Nick. So the two girls, their names are Rashi and Zara,
Mm-hmm.
and Zara with an X. And and the guy, his name is played by Usama Khan. His name is Nicholas, or he goes by Nick, and he's also, I think, a fashion expert,
Fashion blogger, yeah.
fashion blogger, and he's also is a part of the social media team. And together they make videos, they do photo shoots, a lot of other things. And Rashi doesn't have a father. She's raised by her mom, and she's supported by her cousin, that's played by Aliansari. His name is Imaad, and they live together. But Rashi is wants to be independent, and she figured out that social media is a path to her success, and she wants to be like independent and support her
Rich fast.
mom. Yes, rich fast, and not, and she is actually a makeup artist, and she is becoming famous as one, and she aspires to be a celebrity makeup
Mm-hmm,
artist in
yeah.
the future. And meanwhile, their family is being supported by her cousin, who's Ali Ansari's character, and she doesn't quite like that, but anyways, but she's respectful, and she's grateful to him. Zara, on the other hand, comes from a more stable social background, and she has a father and a mother. We don't see much about Zara's side of the family, except that they're childhood friends and they're best friends, right? And then Zara had met Nick in one of the auditions or something, and that's how
Mm-hmm.
the trio came together.
Yep.
And the story unfolds at a party where it's a night party where we see that something happens to Zara, and then something happens, and then Rashi sees what happens to her, and then she tries to run away, and
Mm-hmm.
she kind of escapes, but in the process she falls down and gets hurt badly. And then we see her being taken to the hospital, and in the hospital, right?
We do not. No, 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 no. So no. I think the next scene is when like Nick wakes up in the morning,
Oh,
and he
yeah,
can't, and then
yeah.
he's got all these messages from Zara and what's her name, like Rashi, and
Rashi,
then he's like
actually.
trying to
Yeah.
figure out like where they are, and then he calls like parents and things
Right, right,
like that,
right,
and they
right.
try to find, and then tells him Imaad what you know. He's like, what? Where is she?
Right, right. And
So
yeah, we see that in the that while Nick is finding things out about his
yeah,
friends, on the other side, Zara's family is trying to find her as well,
yeah, and then they find then they find a body
and then they
near
find a
the party
body.
house, the farmhouse where the
Yes,
party was, and
yes.
then it was
And
Zara.
they suspect that the guy who was hosting the party, the DJ, he's a famous DJ who's
Yeah,
hosting
and
the
then
party.
yes, exactly,
This
and then a few hours later they find an injured Rasha
Rashi.
who's in the hospital, and then Rashi
Yeah.
who's in the hospital, and then she is murdered.
Yeah, she's in the hospital and she's recovering in the hospital. She's got a like bad head wound, I guess. And she was initially
She's murdered.
unconscious. Yeah, and then she gets murdered.
She's murdered. So now we have to
But
figure out who murdered her.
but then there's this other guy in the mix, right? Who's apparently Dasha's ex-boyfriend, and he's a
Uh
very
huh.
hot-headed guy.
Daoud.
Dawood, yes.
Yeah.
And so they suspect. I mean, um, Nick, who's Rasha's friend, he suspects Dawood because he thinks that he has
Because
like sort of
Daoud,
threatened them a few
he had broken up.
times.
Oh yeah.
They have broken up a few times, and then he's apparently has got an anger issue, and he has threatened them that he would kill them as well, and he's threatened them on social media. So that
Yeah.
that's motive enough.
Like like in the first episode it was like hashtag, right? That's why it was hashtag.
Yes,
Because they were
yeah.
looking like through they're searching the hashtag, right? The party,
Oh,
hashtag party.
oh yeah, hashtag party. Yes, yes, yes,
Or
yes.
something, yeah, something like Rocky party or something like that. Anyway, so and
Uh-huh.
then Rocky cleans up right after the morning after.
Yeah, and we
Um,
we see that Imaad is this very helpful cousin who's trying to help, both Zara's family and
goody two
Rasha's
shoes.
family. Issues, and he's a very responsible guy, and he's the one who's talking to the cops about
Who's
everything that's
a
unfolding.
goody two shoes who's just like the too good to be true, huh?
Yes, he looks confused and he's like, "What is going on? Like, oh my God, even my own cousin is murdered now." And then and then who is potentially the problem? So he talks to Dawood, he talks to Nick, and he's trying to figure out. And we
Oh,
see
and
that.
then one more thing is like when the news person was reporting on the body, we see this man walking, and then they stop him like like but then they talk about the sage, and then he acts really like he's like all diaphoretic, and then really nervous and diaphoretic, and then he walks into the car and sits down, and then he takes a sigh of relief. I don't know if you remember that scene.
That is the assistant,
State's
right?
assistant, yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I
And
do.
then
Yes.
we find out that like they had actually done something to the state, or that like wasn't really, but I don't know, wasn't it too bad?
No, it's bad. Like you can't enter
Really?
someone's
I
house,
mean, it wasn't
right?
like, oh, like he's become the laughing stock of the country.
Again, when they said it, like they said it like सेठ को expose कर दिया,
I thought it was like, oh
and
my gosh, they discovered something fetish in his
that is what,
bedroom.
yeah, and that was the impression I got also. Like, they broke into his house and potentially found something like incriminating, right?
or fetish, and
Which is embarrassing for the set, but
like
ऐसा
you'll
कुछ
see
भी
like
नहीं था.
handcuffs and like
Like hidden layout or
and
something
there was
like
nothing. It was
that.
like just jewelry, like clothes,
वो भी handcuff के shape पे नहीं था.
sari.
हाँ, कोई
And I'm
suggestive
just like, okay. I mean,
clothes भी नहीं थे. तो मैंने क्या इसमें क्या
I mean,
problem है?
what's the
Yes,
issue here? It's not a big deal.
yeah. If
I mean, you're
anything,
not famous.
that Seth should be upset कि like उसकी privacy को किसी ने ऐसे disturb किया. Like if anything, I mean, he should not be embarrassed. On the contrary, he should be.
Embarrassed की बात नहीं है, yeah.
हाँ, but उसने बोला ना रिपोर्टर ने, और उस बंदे ने भी बोला, right, in the interview कि like ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए था, embarrass ना, कितना शर्मिंदगी हुई होगी Seth को,
शर्मिंदगी तो
ये
नहीं
वो.
हुई.
I mean, ऐसा दिखा तो नहीं, हमें लगा था कुछ होगा, ऐसा दिखा तो नहीं. But ये idea भी बहुत ही funny था लड़कियों का, जो भी like
And then
the whole idea.
Nico, do you think he was gay?
We don't know.
I think he was. I think.
We can't assume from his get-up, but
I mean, yeah, like I'm being like, am I stereotyping?
Yeah, I mean, we can't. There was no indication of him.
I mean, he didn't have a girlfriend either.
Yeah, but a lot of guys don't. Right? So
he's a fashion blogger.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, we didn't. I didn't see an indication that.
But I mean, even if he was, it doesn't matter. Like if he wasn't. But like,
not pertinent to the story, right?
Not pertinent. But agar tha to tha. Who cares, man? So yeah.
But
so
I love the friendship they had. The three of them had some really nice, really good bond. I love that part.
Yeah.
Like,
I think the strength of these of this drama of the series was the acting and the direction.
Yes, the direction for sure, and the script also. Like it was pretty tightly written. The dialogues were really good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and definitely acting. Maha was so good in the whole series. Maha, Ali as well, Usama too.
Ali was good. Usama was good, and I think these two are, they are directors, actors.
Yes, I think so. Usama has mentioned this himself. Like
really? He has.
I think so. In a few. I think there's one interview where he mentioned this, that he feeds out of the director's guidance.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then even Aliansari too.
That's Ali, I mean, now that we've seen quite a bit of his work. What? Yeah, you know what? Because I think it's because the script was like given to him, written, everything was written, and he just had to follow this.
I need to see. You know what? He did not say. You know what?
You know what? Yeah. That's a classic Ali. Yeah. Okay. So then we have the cop who's really doing due diligence, doing an investigation for a change. Normally in Pakistani dramas.
Oh my gosh, yes.
We rarely see an active cop, but here he was. And one of the things was when Rashi got murdered in the hospital. Initially they all believed that she passed away from for natural causes.
Yeah, I didn't.
That's what I was like. Yeah, I was like, if you examine that person, jiske eyes ke vessels dilated ho chuke the, and has been strangled to death with a pillow on her head, wouldn't she look
not strangled, like smothered?
Smothered, yes, sorry, that's the right word. उसको देख के नहीं समझ में आएगा कि natural cause नहीं है.
I mean,
for a doctor.
I don't like how long. I did research actually. Like how long does it take? From this asphyxiation and hypoxia causing death. So, I mean, it does take a while. It takes like 5 minutes. So to keep the pillow on, and then you can have petechiae. You don't always have to have petechiae. I mean, if her face was all like truly bruised, then you can't really see distinguish between the petechiae and then the bruises, basically.
But there weren't bruises on her face. There were bruises in the beginning because of her.
Yeah, they were there. They were still there.
Yeah, but the fact that your eye vessels had popped because of
if your eye vessels have dilated and there's like, but so there'll be hemorrhage like behind the eye.
Yeah. So can't you see that?
So when you open the eyes, like you'll see like a little bit of red spots, but those are more visible when you actually do the exam. And I think because she had died, so it's really hard to like do when we examine a patient when they're dead, we basically just do like physical exam because like a corneal reflex and things like that just to see, and then just do like a pain stimuli, and then we leave the rest to the autopsy, to the medical examiner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So in this particular case, it's justified that the doctor who was signing off a death thing, they could not tell that.
I mean, they can tell like death was like because of respiratory failure. Yeah. Like hypoxia.
But you don't know why the hypoxia happened. Potential her potential head injury.
Potential head injury. Yeah, anything could have happened.
Yeah. Secondly, we just saw her fall down on probably concrete, but her injury seemed pretty extensive considering that,
Yeah.
right? So I was like, I don't know. So that was a little off. But anyways, and then as the story progresses, we see that the cops are forcing for an autopsy, and the patient's family is not agreeing to it.
The
Um,
family. Not the
family, yeah.
family. No, not the yeah, like it was actually
We
like
never see the mother again, right?
no, I mean, so basically like remember like Imaad's like no, like the my khala or my puppu, whoever is there, she said no, no
Yes.
autopsy, and
Yeah.
then it was smart of the cop to say no. I need like like
मैं
her
बात
mother's
करूंगी
permission.
उनसे हाँ उनसे उनसे बात
Yeah.
करूंगा and then yeah, so finally he was able to convince, but still then the
Let me
cops were
see.
doubting Usama, right? Or Nick. To them he seemed like the most
Initially, like
plausible.
they were doubting Daud. Then they
Daoud,
shifted to like
the
saying
DJ, then the
innocent.
Daoud, and then
DJ was like kind of like um uh via process of elimination. I think he was eliminated initially, like a long
yes,
time
yes,
ago.
yeah. Yeah, it was this venue where things happen, and then they saw a CCTV camera that he never really left his spot in the
Mm,
party, so they ruled him out. Dawood also the same thing. They saw him in the party, but then he never left the party, so they ruled him out as well from the
yeah.
cops side. And then the only people they doubted now were the assistant, the state's assistant, and Osama Nick, because
And then
Nick was apparently always with them with these girls, but at that particular party he dropped them off and never attended the party. So that
and
and
then
then
also so my I thought it was that Imad and Nick have hatched this plan together, and they were in a relationship. And that is what Zara was going to expose to get famous. And I mean, because that is big news, right? That's like,
I mean, considering their upcoming
I mean,
blogger, like
that video would have gone
upcoming
gone viral, and
YouTube.
then so they don't want to be exposed, so they hatched this plan to like kill Zara, and then Russia was just because she witnessed it, and so she had to be eliminated too.
Yeah.
That was my
Yes.
that was my
Yes.
my thing.
That's a very proliferating imagination, I must say. But you know what? I actually um, to me I would have loved it if like Nick was the actual culprit, because
Hmm. Oh yeah,
because the reason is like in a murder mystery, if someone is looking very innocent
he
and
did not
yet
look
being
innocent, man. No
and
way. He didn't. He looked innocent.
Nick looked really innocent, yeah.
Huh? Really?
हाँ हाँ मुझे
मैं
तो
तो
लग रहा
कहती थी
था.
कहती यार you know what?
But
He's the one.
uske, there
He's
were so
also the
many
one.
things they showed about Nick that was like suspicious, right?
So
Like
in a murder mystery, no one is innocent.
but yeah, but then the person who looks very innocent and then उसको ही blame किए जा रहे हो and then he's like
हाँ.
नहीं मैं नहीं हूँ यार मैं
मुझे
नहीं हूँ
लगा maybe
यार
maybe
like
it is Osama's sister.
हाँ the two ways we have seen murder mysteries, right? एक है कि like you hide the person till the very end,
You just show them like glimpses, like
glimpses, and then don't expose them. And
yeah.
the other way is like there's one guy who's like who's who's gaining
He's
all
like
the
out there, but you don't suspect him.
suspect him. And then the third way is like you have this person जिसके ऊपर सारे sympathies है लोगों को, right? And then उसको blame कर रहे हो, उसके ऊपर बेचारे के ऊपर सारे sympathies है लोगों को. Like usual suspect याद आ रही है मुझे, like that that lame, I don't know if you've seen it, the lame guy who's sitting there and then telling कि मैं नहीं हूँ, this is how it happened, and he framed up the whole story and then he walks away innocent, right? So मुझे लग रहा था उसी angle में जा रहा है, and I
You
thought that
know,
Nick
the other
was.
thing would have been really interesting is if like they had not murdered Rasha or Rashi, what's her name, Rashi, right? And it was Rashi
Yeah.
who murdered her.
Oh, Zara.
Yeah.
Mm, mm,
That would
mm.
have been good, like at the end, like they'll show like she's in the hospital the whole time. She's kind of getting, recovering, and she doesn't. She's like, oh, I don't recall anything. I don't recall anything. And then it's her.
Yeah. So other thing I wasn't sure is like, okay, so the cops kept thinking that it's Nick who's the culprit, right? But
At the end, at the very end, right? Yeah.
by the second, no, they have been questioning Nick from second episodes onward, right? They're constantly
Mm,
questioning him, and then third में उसने उन्होंने बोला भी to Imaad के like, why do you keep bringing him? Because he's one of the prime suspects, right?
yeah.
In general, what I know is like, it's a pretty regular, sort of an SOP to follow is like if you suspect somebody, you check their phone records to see if the phone pinged at the location or not. And in Nick's case, they didn't even check that because Nick's phone
It
wasn't
did.
there.
His phone was there.
Then it wasn't there, right? Nick का घर पे था.
हाँ, he was at home.
हाँ, तो उसका phone तो वहीं ping करता ना instead of pinging at the
नहीं,
location.
लेकिन आधे घंटे बाद he was there at the place.
He dropped them and left, and then by the time they were ready to get picked up by a cab, Nick तो घर पे
Uh-huh.
चला गया था. तो Nick तो उस location में ही नहीं था.
तो he could have like just left his phone.
तो वो phone कहीं तो ping करेगा ना.
हाँ,
अगर
तो
अगर वो बोलता कि your phone kept pinging in this location, although you're saying you were home, then you were a prime suspect, makes sense. But
yeah, they
उसका
did say that. Okay, why didn't you call? Like they were calling, and he's like, I was sleeping.
हाँ, but what I'm saying is कि like usually the cops check the location of the phone at that point of time, like at the time of murder.
They would. I'm
Or
sure they did.
they didn't. If they did, then they wouldn't have chosen him as a prime suspect, right?
क्यों?
Because उसका phone नहीं था उस जगह
तो
पे.
फोन जरूरी तो नहीं है फोन हो.
तो उसके लिए तुम्हें और ज्यादा proof देना पड़ेगा. Because if you put me on the stand as a suspect with all the evidences like this, I'm gonna say मेरा phone तो मेरे घर पे था. So that is proof enough कि मैं घर पे
I
थी.
mean, no, that's not
Right?
proof.
But you can't defy that. You can't deny that. One of the key evidences they present is that the phone is at the site of murder, right?
I mean, it could be anybody could take your phone and put it there.
Yeah, then that is never a key evidence then. But in a lot of murder cases, a
I
key
mean,
evidence.
the mom's phone was there on the table when she called from. Apparently, mom did
हाँ,
not have
हाँ. So he can say
phone.
कि मैं phone किसी और को दे दिया था, but he has to really make a case for him there.
Yeah.
But otherwise you can't make a case against the person जबकि उसका phone is ringing somewhere else.
So she knew her mom's passcode.
हाँ, वो तो होता ही है, right?
अच्छा?
हाँ, yeah,
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 my mom's passcode.
yeah, yeah. My kids know mine. I know my
I'm
dad's.
gonna tell my. I'm gonna get my mom's now. Mom, if I'm at the hospital and
Yeah,
I'm like gonna be murdered soon,
yeah.
I need a phone.
But my biggest grievance is like, okay, so we kind of ruled out the obvious culprit from day one, thinking कि इतना obvious तो नहीं हो सकता.
Yeah, we were thinking. I mean, this is like a spoiler
Spoiler,
alert.
spoiler. Yeah, yeah. All alerts
So
here.
like, I was like, well, it seems Aliansari, but how can it be that obvious?
It can't be that obvious. So वो हमारा पहला था. And then तो हम लोग इसलिए.
But
But the
then,
good part of this story is that they made you think. They made you think of
yeah, it did. Like,
alternatives and
I mean,
all.
the good part is that like the way, like the path to that end was good. It was crisp. Enough.
Yes.
There was enough thrill and enough suspense.
Yes. I mean,
To
I
keep
was
us
hooked,
guessing.
right?
Yeah, of
I was
course.
hooked. Like, I want to see the next
Mm-hmm.
one, right?
Oh yeah, for
And
sure.
then my other grievance is like, okay, the motive was not very clear to me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, a lot could be imagined around it, but then I wanted to see like the real motive that drove a person to this extent, a person who's apparently was leading a normal, honorable life, like and
Apparently.
apparently,
We don't-
right? So to drove a person to this extent कि उसने मार दिया इस बंदे को, वो मुझे clear नहीं था.
I think for me the motive was clear. I know you don't agree with me, but I think for me it was clear. Like, oh yeah, like, he probably raped her, and
Probably.
that's I think, and then he did not want to be exposed. He didn't want to murder her, but like it just kind of happened, and then obviously like he had to do another murder because to hide this one, but.
Right, but he did that, and why didn't he like offer if that was the case? I mean, why didn't he say कि he said कि मैं चला जाऊंगा, मैं भूल जाऊंगा, and this will be over, right? So don't expose me. Why didn't he offer कि हम लोग शादी कर लेते हैं, right? So
मैं उसको शादी नहीं करनी थी भाई.
हाँ, बट मारने के पहले तो ये सोच सकते थे ना कि मारना फिर कहीं और चले जाना, इतना सब कुछ कर कि अच्छा तो मैं भी like one person he has committed offense with, he he obviously is not a like a repeat offender. That वो तो बोल ही रहा था ना based on his what he was saying. He was not a repeat offender, so this could have been a solution he could have proposed. And if Zara had turned that down, that's another story. But वो भी नहीं propose किया. The whole thing was not very clear over there, in my opinion. But we can always ask our viewers, okay, you see the show, you go through the story and let us know, okay, like तुम्हारा क्या opinion? Was the motive clear to you, and did you get the answers that you're looking for? But
yeah, and then other thing I do want to comment is their the appearances. I think Usama Khan, like I liked his get up, changed.
Yes.
From his from his mustache now. Like,
goatee.
I know. Because
Ponytail.
I'm like, okay, Osama, you need to change from your current one. Like, it's gotta go. Even Aliansari is like his is also a little different.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and then I like Sabeena, Farooq. I like all four actually. I love Maha too.
Yeah, I just love Maha, like the from that fun-loving girl, switching into on her deathbed, the way she was like crying, and then
What was Sabeena?
Sabeena का हमने इतना ज़्यादा नहीं देखा इस particular show में. Like we didn't see her histrionics as much as we have seen before. Like she came and go. She was effective in whatever she was, whatever scenes she was in, but इतना तो उसको scope ही नहीं था histrionics के. Maha ko tha, and Maha outperformed. Right?
Maha
I really loved
did,
it.
and so did like the other two guys. And then the Dawood was good too. He was good.
Dawood was really good. Yes, I really like Dawood as well. So yeah, I
forgot his name. The guy's name, but yeah, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, hats off to the direction and hats off to the story. It's also like there were things that we would like to see different for sure, but it's like it's not easy to write a very crisp murder mystery and
Yeah.
not to like defy logic at a lot of places, right? So
yeah, so I mean, I actually like so the bottom line is keep them coming basically.
Yes.
I love short series, please, and then murder mysteries. And if there's a love story involved in there, amazing.
Yes. Yeah, I wish there was a love story there, right? I mean, there was, but it wasn't a nice one.
I mean, okay.
I mean, Rashi and Dawood, there was a love story.
Oh my god.
Toxic one. Yeah. But yes, it's an excellent effort, and we want to see more of it.
And, and I like the message at the end was, like, like she wasn't murdered because she was a social media influencer. Sure. It's because like she was a woman.
Yeah.
Right. Like. Yeah. So that like her work has nothing to do with this.
Yeah. It was the insecurity of one guy that caused this murder, right? Like Ali's insecurity with his fame, and then वो expose ना हो जाए तो अपने cousin को भी मारा. Spoiler. Yes.
So that's where we are at. Let us know what your thoughts are about the drama, and do watch #, okay? I promise you guys will love it.
Yes, I mean shows like these has to be promoted. Like it's an excellent effort. The story writing to the direction to the performance, it's an excellent effort. And if you don't promote such things or recommend those things, we will never see a change.
Yeah, and people like, and some people are just like they just don't have time to invest in longer show.
Right.
So I guess like a mini series is good for them. All right. Yes. So on that note, we're gonna end, and we're gonna be back again with another episode of Dramalogue. So see you guys later.
Alrighty. See ya.
Allah Hafiz.